right, listen up. You want to know why I'm rocking barbell apparel? Simple. It's built for athletes like you and me. Have you ever tried squeezing into those regular clothes? It's not happening, right? Barbell has got that perfect fit for guys who actually hit the gym. It's comfortable, it's stylish, and it shows off the work that you put in. Whether I'm training or I'm heading out, Barbell is always on point. Now here's the kicker. Barbell's annual hoodie sale is on. Spend over $99 and they will throw in a free athletic fit performance hoodie. Yeah, you heard me. Free. We're talking 7 brand new hoodie designs. You can stack these deals too. Spend more, get more hoodies. You want 1, you want 5? Go for it. But here's the thing. These designs sell out every single year. So if you wait, you will miss out. Limited time, limited stock. So stop wasting time and go hit up Barbell Apparel. Get your gear. Get your free hoodie and look like a champ. Barbell Apparel. Built for athletes, built for you. Go to barbellapparel.com or just click on the link below. Tom Aspinall says he's going to show up. UFC 309. That's, of course, Jones versus Stipe. He's going to do a few interviews. He's going to cause a scene here or there and hopefully get the winner to fight him. Now, can I tell you what I find interesting about that? So often I will go down the road of conspiracy, and by conspiracy, it's pretty light. I just mean within this sport of MMA and within this company of UFC that they have a plan. And that while they're 3 steps ahead, they're not revealing that plan to us. They got a little bit to get there, and here's how they're going to shift. And they got a strategy. And I just keep finding it interesting when you see an interview like this one by Tom, that there isn't necessarily that conspiracy-esque strategy being played out and that we're being kept in the dark. Like, the fact that Tom would say, I've got to go and I got to do some media and I got to stir some things up, hoping to get one of them to fight me. It's almost a revelation that there isn't actually a plan. There isn't actually news that's being kept from us. It sounds like Tom, as a regular blue-collar guy, where if he wants to get paid on Friday at 5 before he goes home to the family, has got to go out and do a job. And I wouldn't have thought that that was the case. By the way, I would think that Tom could stay in England. Tom could do whatever he wants, never say a word to anybody. He is the interim champion. They are fighting for the undisputed championship. And this will be real interesting to see how this plays out. Interim champion cannot exist in the presence of an undisputed champion. They are mutually exclusive. It is impossible, as a matter of fact, to have happened, which means the moment the bell rings for Jones versus Stipe, the instant, not the weigh-in, not the lead-up, not the signing of the contract, not the walkout, not the announcement, the moment, by definition, the bell rings, your undisputed champion is now back. Which, by definition, instantly strips Tom Aspinall of an interim championship. And I'm just bringing this to you because it will be very interesting to see if that is what happens. Is Tom Aspinall well aware that when he comes out there with that belt for any interviews that he does moving forward, the moment that bell rings, whoever that is opposite, he is no longer champion. In fact, I know the fans are not aware and the media is not aware, to the extent that the fans and the media believe if Stipe is to beat Jon Jones, I read this article, they laid the whole thing out. If Stipe is to beat Jon Jones, Stipe is now the undisputed champion. Stipe, if he follows through with his plans, which is an immediate retirement, that no problem, the moment Stipe vacates, it elevates Tom's interim championship to the undisputed championship. That is not true. There would be no championship to elevate. By the time Stipe wins the belt, there is no longer an interim champion. But the media has ran with this story. And the other side of it, if Jon were to win, and then Jon were to do what none of us believe he's going to do, but he has teased a couple times, which is to retire, you would again have a vacated undisputed championship, which many believe just elevates Tom's interim belt to an undisputed belt. But it doesn't. There's not an interim belt to elevate. It is not the conclusion of the fight. It is not the result of a fight. I don't know how to speak any clearer. The moment the bell rings, starting the fight, Tom is no longer a champion. And that doesn't totally sound fair. to have a champion, but he loses it for actions that aren't of his own? It's the definition, though. And I'm bringing this to you guys ahead of time because as correct as I am, and I am, I couldn't bet my house that's what's going to happen. We will fiercely adhere to the rules that we make up as we go. And I'm just keeping my eye on that. I'm just wondering, what is it that Tom needs to do? But you would think that Tom would be in pole position. You would think that Tom can stay in England. Tom can do nothing. Tom is the interim champion. Of course, he's going to face whoever has the undisputed belt. But just to correct you, no, he won't be. He cannot just stay home. He cannot just sit this one out. It does not automatically default to Tom. Whereas an interim champion, at a minimum, we understand he's a number one contender. He will no longer be the interim champion. So if Tom stays home, sits this one out, doesn't come, doesn't stir the pot, doesn't get things going and rev them up, if he does that, he's going to be looked at as a contender like the rest of them, who possibly gets the nod and possibly doesn't. And it doesn't matter how obvious he is as a number one contender. I was in Salt Lake three weeks ago. The number one contender obviously was Ankalaev, but it was Khalil in there doing the heavy lifting. And I just, on a personal note, I like that Tom's coming out, by the way. I like that he's going to stir it up. I like that he's hoping to get in with the winner. But I think it does help to reveal for us, like, there's not a great thing going on behind the scenes that we don't see. I was just with Michael Chandler 1 week ago in Florida. And in visiting with Michael Chandler, it did become very obvious, like, what Chandler and Conor had going and when that fight was going to happen, or if it's going to happen, or if it's still going to happen. One thing that was very obvious through my visits with Michael Chandler is there is not a plan that hasn't been revealed to us, the audience. There isn't something that these guys, the fighter themselves or the promotion, they got this little plan, and there's not. It really does come down to what Dana White constantly says, which is, let's see what happens. So I'm curious. I don't feel whole here. I don't feel complete. Tom doing an interview and stating he plans to come out and do interviews and stir some stuff up is a little bit contrary to what we were told a month ago, which is Tom is the backup fighter. It would be redundant for Tom to have to reveal to a media member that he was coming to New York. That would be redundant. If he is in fact a signed backup fighter, as we've been told that he is, of course he's going to be in New York. He might even be fighting. In fact, his plan would be to fight. He'd be through training camp. He'd be ready. He's going to have to weigh in. He's going to have to go through the medical process and get licensed. And perhaps have to step into the ring. He would be planning on doing that. That's the way that you would have to look at it as a backup fighter. That is the thing that you would be hoping and praying for. It would not be planning to do interviews to get a future fight. I'm just sharing with you, like, there's a little bit of tug of war here. And I don't want to see Tom stripped, by the way, but I didn't love seeing Colby Covington get stripped. Colby Covington was a number one contender who couldn't fight for the belt, who was an interim champion who never lost, woke up one day and wasn't the interim champion, fought the reigning BMF champion and won and didn't become the BMF champion. Like, when I explain to you what happened to Colby, it's like a riddle. You think I'm playing word games, but I'm not. And it is interesting. Tom defended an interim title. That was interesting. I think it was the right thing to do. When I tell you we make up things as we go, well, we make them up in an attempt to get them better in a sport that's very new. But it is really, really important that we either change the name of the interim title or we look up the definition, which by proxy would immediately vacate when the bell rings and you have the return of the undisputed champion. But I'm not 100% sure in telling you, even though I am 100% confident in the linguistics of it, I'm not positive to tell you that that's what's going to happen.